Hey guys, welcome back to Doing It DIY. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Allison. I can't wait for us to DIY together. Today I have 4 super cute, affordable Dollar Tree farmhouse inspired DIYs that I can't wait to share. Everything you need to complete these projects is listed in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get into the first project, this super cute wall hanger. Mine's in the kitchen. You can put yours wherever you like. Everything you need is on the screen. We are going to start by taking any of the long Dollar Tree signs and removing the hanger. My paper came with it, I just went with it. We're going to protect our work surface and go ahead and give 1 or 2 coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral to our sign and set that to the side to dry. Then we're going to take some medium-sized craft sticks and cut both of the rounded ends off of the craft sticks. And we are going to use these craft sticks to make a DIY frame for our DIY wall hanger. And now we're going to take my favorite combination of paint to make DIY stain, Apple Barrel Jet Black and Apple Barrel Brown Oxide, a little bit of water, and we are going to mix those up and then paint the front, the back, and the sides of the popsicle sticks or the craft sticks and set them to the side. If you have a favorite stain that you want to use or a favorite paint combination, go ahead and go with that. This is just my preferred choice of colors and my preferred method to stain wood. It's easy and it dries fast. Now we're going to go ahead and take some Apple Barrel Snow White and Apple Barrel Chocolate Bar and a very dry paintbrush and a very light hand and go over and give a little bit of distressing to our board. Not too much. We want to add a little bit of something because the peel and stick decor, I don't know what they're really called, but the peel and stick quote, that's what I'm going to call it, is clear so you can see right through it. So I like to add a little bit of something to the background. And then we are going to take our peel and stick quote. We're going to place it on our board. It's sticky already, so you don't have to put something underneath of it to get it to stay. But we are going to use some Mod Podge and go over the entire project with it. I use glossy because the actual quote was a glossy finish. You can use matte if you like. That's totally up to you. And then we're just going to let that dry. And now we're going to take our dry craft sticks and go ahead and make a frame out of them. I start at the bottom and then I go to the top and then I fill in the sides all the way up. You may have to make some cuts, some adjustments, but you will make it work. And then I'm just going to take my glue gun and take a bead of hot glue all the way around the outside edge of the project because the frame did come out just a tiny bit from the sign. I couldn't think of what I was trying to say, so I just want to seal it so it didn't raise up. Then you're going to take any kind of greenery you want. I used boxwood and we're just going to attach that to the bottom. You could skip this step. You could put something else here in its place. That's totally optional, totally up to you. I just thought it looked cute and add a little something extra. Now we're just going to take some jute twine, wrap that around our hands a bunch of times, and then cut another small piece of jute twine, tie that in the middle, and we're making a very rustic little bow out of this jute twine to put in the middle of our greenery. And if you have a good bow making tutorial, link it below for me because I can do a lot of things, but making a bow is not one of them. That's why my bows are always so rustic and so simple. But in this case, it works. So we're just going to hot glue that right in the middle to cover up those stems. And our sign is done. All we need now is a little bit of nautical rope. I unraveled it so it was just 1 strand because 3 was too many. And some hot glue and a little bit of craft paper, and we are going to just glue that on there, and our sign is complete. I love the way this turned out. I have it hanging in my kitchen. I've seen this peel and stick wall decor used a bunch of different ways, but I really like the way this one turned out. I hope you guys do too. And now we are on to our next project, which is a Kirkland's knockoff. I'll put the picture that I use for inspiration above right here, and this is everything we need to make this. It's super cute, super easy, and it kind of looks high-end as well. We're going to start by cutting one end off of our medium-sized craft stick and marking 5 inches and cutting several of those to 5 inches. Super easy. Once we have those cut, we're just going to lay them to the side. We're not going to paint them yet. We're not going to stain them yet. We are going to take 7 of them together, just like this, and we are going to line them up so that they're straight. In my case, semi-straight because it's never straight. And then we're going to take a small craft stick and use to hold them together. We're actually going to use 3 craft sticks total on the back, and you'll see what I mean in a second. If you have leftover craft sticks from other projects that are painted, you can use that here because we are going to paint them instead of stain them. So if you need to do some trimming up, which I definitely did, you can just cut it right now. It's super easy, nothing to it. And we need to make 4 of those total. These are going to form the sides of our box. All right, and then I'm going to take the lid of a little square box that I got for Christmas at the Dollar General, and I'm going to use that as the base. If you want to use a piece of cardboard as the base, you can. If you want to use a box as the base, feel free to do whatever it is that you want to do, but we're going to attach those 4 panels to the lid of this box. Where they meet, you may have to put a little bead of hot glue like I'm doing now and hold them together for a second, but no big deal. We're going to frame it out in the end, so it's going to look more finished. And once we have all of those attached, we're going to take those small craft sticks and put one inside of each corner just to give it a little bit more stability so that it has something to grip to and it makes it a little stronger. We're going to do that on all 4 sides. And then we're going to take 2 more craft sticks for each side, and we're going to frame it around on both sides, just like you see me doing here. I only did it on one side for this because that's all you can see on mine, and I ran out of craft sticks, but you get the idea. You want to do it on all sides. And then we're going to take our Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral, and we're going to go ahead and give it a coat. If you want to give it more than one coat, you can definitely do that. The original item from Kirkland's actually looked like you could see some of the wood through it. So whatever works best for you, do that. If you want to distress it, you can even do that. At this point, make it your own. I'm just trying to follow it as closely as I can to the Kirkland's original, which I loved. I thought it was super cute. Then we're just going to take some bronze round furniture nails, and we're going to cut the nail part off as short as we can get it so that we can kind of get it to lay flat. You may not be able to get the entire thing, but you can get a good bit of it. And then we're just going to put some hot glue down where you want those nails to be on our box and glue them on. You may have to fight with a little bit, especially if the little bit of the nail is still there, but it's doable. It will work. My final one looked wonky. I had to kind of take it off after the fact. I wish I had waited to take the pictures and video, but I had more projects to do. So I love the way it turns out. I think it looks super high end. I think it looks super cute. It was very easy. I love it. And now we're just going to take any kind of greenery. I'm using a boxwood pick. I got this from Walmart. I think it was 97 cents. I didn't have any floral foam in big chunks or big squares or rectangles, so I took some Walmart grocery bags and just some spare floral foam that I had left over, and I just put that in the box, and then I'm going to cut the pieces off the picks and arrange those inside the box. It's super easy. It could not get any easier, I promise you. It only cost a couple dollars. I think it looks super high end. It definitely is a great way to transition from the holidays and from winter into spring. It's something that could even be left up all year long. I love it. I love the way it turned out. I hope you guys like it too. Now we're going to get into the easiest of the projects that we did this video. That is a super cute blessed sign using a placemat, some Dollar Tree foam board, and some paint sticks. I have the measurements that I used to cut them in the description box below. This could not be easier, I promise you. We're gonna use that same paint combination again. I am not getting rid of it just yet. And we are going to stain all of those paint sticks, both sides and the front and the back. Make sure you get the edges as well, because you will see a couple of those. And once we have our stain, our faux stain on it, we're just gonna wipe it down and set them to the side and let them dry. They dry so fast with this paint, this DIY stain. That's why I love it. But you can use whatever you want here. It doesn't have to be what I used. Now we're just going to take a Dollar Tree foam board and lay our placemat on the board, and we're going to cut out using an X-Acto knife, and I used a ruler to get a straight line all the way around our placemat. You'll notice that I am going a little bit outside of the lines of the placemat. That's so that we have a place to attach our paint sticks and it doesn't take up a huge amount of the placemat. Couldn't be easier. And for this, I decided to use E6000 in hot glue. You can use this combination, but if you do, please make sure you get it as spread out and as flat as you possibly can, and don't use hot glue in the middle. I made this mistake, and despite the fact that I really tried to get it to be flat, it's not, it's bumpy, which is really disappointing. So if you can, I would use some spray adhesive. That might work better than this combination that I use, but you live and you learn, right? And then you're just gonna hook that to the foam board, making sure you leave a little bit of a lip all the way around to attach that. And you see, I notice immediately that I'm having issues here, so I'm trying to straighten it out and flatten it out, but it was too late at that point. Just don't do what I did. And then you're just gonna take some hot glue again and those paint sticks, and we are just going to form the frame around our placemat. And mine did not come out perfectly. My husband made the cuts and one of them was a tiny bit off. So, but that's okay. It looks cute in the end. I have it somewhere that light is not reflecting on it, so you can't see the bumpiness, and it still does look cute. So it worked out. And it only cost a couple dollars as well. I already had the foam board. All I bought was the placemat, and I already had the paint sticks too, so it worked. Once you have the frame attached, you're just gonna take an X-Acto knife and go all the way around, and if you had any overhang, go ahead and cut that off. Then we're gonna take my trusty method to use as a hanger and some jute twine and craft paper and hot glue that on the back and make us a little hanger. This part could not be easier. I always use craft paper over top of the jute twine to give it a little bit more stability. But this project is not very heavy, so it would have been fine, but I like to be super sure. And that's all there is to it. I love the way it turned out. Even with the bumps, it looks super cute. And our last project is my favorite. Now be warned that this project looks a hot mess all the way until the end. That's okay. I used some tumbling tower blocks. I used the hot glue, and that's basically all you need for this. I had a bunch of tumbling tower blocks that were the brown color, because mine were the natural wood and the brown color mixed together. I had a lot that I had stained for another project, so I had just a mishmash. And I couldn't really use, I didn't have enough of any of them to make something. So I just used what I had, and it works out perfectly because we're going to paint it. And then I'm just using the lid that I used for the planter project just to get the basic shape that I wanted. I'm just going to hot glue those together, putting them back inside that lid to make sure that they're straight and square. And because I cannot do anything straight or square, mine was not straight or square. That's perfectly okay. Do you? I love this lantern. It's probably one of my favorite things I've made recently. So even though it looks a hot mess all the way up until the end, that's okay. I'm going to be quiet and let you watch me glue. No, I'm not actually. I lied. Once you have the base, and we want to have two of those, one for the top, one for the bottom, you're just going to take your tumbling tower blocks and stack them one on each end and then one beside it. So kind of like an L shape. I don't know if you can really tell from this angle, but that's how it looks. Almost an L shape. And then we're just going to go all the way up as tall as you want the lantern to be in the exact same pattern, all the way up the lantern. You can kind of see here how that looks like an L. And then when we have it as high as we want it, we're just gonna put hot glue on each of those 4 posts and attach the top. Super easy. And then I'm just taking 4 more of those tumbling tower blocks and making the little top part. I couldn't decide if I wanted to leave it open or closed. In the end, I do close it. If you want to leave yours open, you can definitely do that. When I attach it originally, it's definitely off center. I had to remove it and put it back on. I was in a hurry. I don't know what I was thinking. And you can see it's very crooked, but I do fix it. It turns out fine. And that is what it looks like once it's all put together. I'm going to take some Apple Barrel Snow White paint. I did have to use 2 coats. We are going to distress it some, but because I had all different colors of the tumbling tower blocks, 2 coats were definitely needed. Make sure you paint all the way inside, get all of the corners, get it all good. Once you have your white paint on and it's dry, we're going to take a dry brush and the Waverly Chalk Paint and Mineral and distress it kind of heavily all over your lantern. I love the combination of these 2 together. It is amazing. I love the finished product. It's by far and away one of my favorite projects I've done recently. So it definitely worked. Then I'm just going to take some more of that nautical rope and make a little hanger at the top. I struggle very hard with this nautical rope for some unknown reason, but because I got hot glue everywhere. So then I decided to take a little bit of the nautical rope and just go around that top little piece to kind of frame it out. And that's what I'm doing here. It ends up looking great. It looks like it's intentional. It totally wasn't, but sometimes the best accidents are this kind. So it worked out. And that's all there is to it. You can use whatever kind of greenery to put inside it. You can decorate it with a candle, be creative, whatever you want to do. Like I said, I love the way it turned out. It was easy. It only cost $2. And that's it, guys. I hope that you found something that you like. If you do create any of these, you can follow me at Doing It DIY with Allie, Allie, on Instagram. Take a picture, tag me in it. I'd love to see it. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. Until next time, you guys. Bye-bye.